Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to another EVE Online video, and today's video is going to be a discussion video because CCP released an update for their updates website. So we finally get a bit of a sneak peek on what's in development for EVE Online and what CCP has planned basically for the rest of the year for the game. So there's a lot of interesting aspects to this, so I thought I'd make a video on it, taking a look at what is coming here. So if you go to the main EVE Online website, you can always click on updates, which will bring you here. Welcome to EVE Updates, the past, present and future of EVE Online. So if you ever take a long break from the game or something like that, you want to know exactly what's been happening, you can always go back in the timeline as well, take a look at previous releases, expansions and all of that good stuff. At the moment, of course, the next release is coming. It's for August 14th, which is today, and we get the Navitas and Telia redesign, so more upgrades to the graphics for EVE Online. I personally haven't had time to check any of this out on a CC. I really should have, but it's been super busy for me personally. That's always a good tip that I can give you guys. Try to get on CC from time to time, especially when CCP is holding a mass test. You do get lots of interesting information about the development of the game from there. Now the Tyra and Bustard are also getting a redesign, pretty good, completely different from what they look like at the moment, but definitely have a pretty strong Caldari vibe there. And we also get a Badger and a Crane redesign. On top of that, we get a new player experience update. That is interesting. With this release, new pilots will be able to enjoy the start of a series of updates to the new player experience. This update focuses on delivering a new basic starter site for rookie pilots, as well as combat challenges displayed through the agency. So CCP is still pushing the agency as their content portal for the game. I think that's pretty important. And of course, constant iteration on the new player experience. That's only normal. That is something that you do need to do in a game as complex as EVE Online. There was a test for this on CC as well, which unfortunately I missed because I had to work late that evening. But again, stuff that you can definitely take a look at on the test server if you're curious about it as well. Client performance improvement, so the laser firing effect is getting an update as well, which as far as I understand it is mostly about the client trying to render stuff that is so far away that it's never going to be visible anyways, and that the CCP found some client improvements from that part of the graphics. They already did that with the missiles, and now they're doing the same with the lasers. Moving on to August 18th, we get the finals for the Alliance tournament. I've not been able to watch much or even any of the Alliance tournament so far. I've tried, but again, it's been super busy for me myself. But August 18th, I think that's when I have a couple days off after that. So that should hopefully provide me with an opportunity to at least take a look at the finals for the Alliance tournament this year. Next up, we have August 24th. This one does interest me quite a lot. Secrets of the Abyss. So that is going to be an agency event that deals with Abyss, and of course, potentially we get these incredible skins for the Triglavian ships. I've been skilling up for Triglavian ships. I'm pretty much done. I'm very close to done with the frigates. Just need to get the skill for the Tech 2 weapon, and I'm very close to done as well for the cruiser. After that, the battleship, well, it's a longer skill, so that's gonna take a little bit more time, but very good timing for me personally. To try and get into some more abyssal content and see what this event will be all about, and if we can earn some nice rewards from that. So looking forward to that, 1 week after the launch of the World of Warcraft expansion, so I will try to juggle all of that myself. After that, we have a September 11th update for the September release with an Osprey and the Osprey Navy issue redesign. Looks pretty cool, and if you remember, you could have seen a lot of that development process on Twitch as well, where CCP actually showed their graphics department going at it for the Osprey redesign. Same thing with the Basilisk and Etana redesign. Now this is a little bit Short, right? Only 2 parts for the September release, so maybe we'll have something more by the time that comes out, but for now we do get some nice ship redesigns late summer, early fall. After that, we have for fall 2018 the Force Auxiliary Balance Pass. Not so much of interest to me personally, but for nullsec, with a major war happening right now, this is going to be very important, and this is another showcase of CCP trying things, trying to find the right balance solutions for the game, but not always hitting the mark. Yet, with enough uproar from the community, they do listen to us, because this was planned to come out earlier. It was not a good idea from all the feedback that we managed to get from the community, and as a result they've delayed that, and they're looking into other ways of rebalancing the Force Auxiliary ships. So we'll see how all of that plays out. Of course, nobody will ever be happy with nerfs to logistics ships, but on the other hand, sometimes for the health of the game, you do have to rebalance stuff. We should get the activity tracker in fall as well. I think at first this was planned for the summer, but that has apparently been delayed a little bit. And then we can also expect an Imperial Jubilee event, if not only the skins, but probably an event as well, so that we get even more of them. So more Mars ships will get the Imperial Jubilee skin, and hopefully we'll also get an event or a way in game to earn these, because they do look pretty good. I have most of the ones that exist already. And if we see even more of them come out, would be nice to be able to collect all of them. After that, for October 19th, we have EVE Vegas, of course, 3 days of EVE Online talks, development talks, and hopefully even more information as well on the rebalancing and on what's coming for the winter releases for the game. So definitely something that I also try to watch on stream, if not on videos right afterwards, because of course EVE Vegas is a completely different time zone for myself, so it's not likely that I'll be able to watch a lot of that live, but there's always very interesting information that comes out of this, especially the developer talks and things like that. So I would highly recommend that even if you don't take part of EVE Vegas, like me, from Europe, I'm not going to take a flight to Vegas to join that live, but I will keep a close eye on any information that comes out of that. Reddit is always a great source just to stay on top of the latest information, and after that, of course, go for the CCP videos that will be released after EVE Vegas on their YouTube channel. So hopefully we get some nice information there. And then the biggest chunk actually is the winter 2018-2019 roadmap with more balance changes. Obviously, I think a lot of people will be very happy with that. It does look like CCP has put together this dedicated balance team that will continuously look at ships, fits, modules, and all of that stuff to try and keep the meta fresh, to try and keep the game balanced, and to try and keep one very specific ship or ship type or fit or something like that from completely overwhelming the game. So rebalance the Rorcal, well, I don't think that that's gonna happen, but it's maybe something that might be on the radar as well if you look at what's happening with minerals at the moment. Now, maybe a bit more interesting, especially for me here, 64-bit EVE client. When major battles happen, I do try to go there as sort of a camera, try and grab footage, and in the last few battles my client just couldn't keep up, and so hopefully with a 64-bit client we will indeed be able to bring EVE up to modern standards, and hopefully we'll have better performance and better capabilities when it comes to the bigger fights for EVE Online. So something that's in development. They're aiming to release that for the winter. I don't think that this is a certain thing, but I think it's great news to hear that CCP is actively working on that 64-bit EVE client, and that as of now we can consider that to at least be on the roadmap for EVE Online. After that, for the people that watch EVE Talk, very interesting, of course, that we have a new line of structures from Upwell being released. The big gamble is, will we see PI materials needed for the construction of these? Because that's honestly where my investment strategy is leaning towards at the moment. So we get the Upwell jump bridges, the Upwell sinusoidal jammers, and the Upwell sinusoidal beacons. Yeah, pretty cool, but definitely in a different size range as the other structures from Upwell that we know, like the Astrohus, and then up to the extra large citadels. Same thing with the engineering complexes and the refineries. This is of a different order, so I personally am not 100% sure that we'll need advanced PI to produce these, but that is, I think, the gamble that we will take, because these are also items that are built and often destroyed, so it will bring I think even more of a consumption cycle to the materials needed for these Upwell structures. Potentially I can see great profits if you can grab the right materials at the right time for the production of these three. And again, if you do this, then keeping a close eye on CC on the tester is very important, because that is usually where we get our first inklings of the actual materials that are needed, and that is when the market really makes their first initial moves. There's always a second move on release itself, because not that many people watch videos or go on CC actively to try and get an edge in trading, but it does happen. And I think that right now, late summer, we have seen the PI go lower, go below its averages by quite a bit. It's a great time to risk the investment, but it's still up in the air whether or not it will be needed for these particular structures. And then finally, one that I find interesting as well, structure skins are coming to the game, something that I've seen floating around in discussions on the forums and on Reddit quite often, and definitely a very cool idea in my opinion as well. No idea what they will look like, but definitely something that I'm interested in as well. If I find something that fits nicely with the logo that I've got going there, maybe like a blue darkish color or something like that, definitely an investment that I might make myself. And then one that some people are a bit scared of, settings menu overhaul. I think that what they're a little bit worried about is that last time we had a change to the settings menu was with the audio settings that were reduced quite a bit in their options, and so people are a little bit worried about what exactly this will entail. Still, let's hope that CCP can get this to be done nicely. Let's maybe also read what the idea is. So settings menu overhaul. With so many options for configuring your client and what's displayed on screen in New Eden, the settings menu has become a little crowded over the years. Yeah, so does look like they're going to aim at reducing some of the options. Capsulers will benefit from a clear and more coherent layout, along with some simplified options that are presented in a more understandable fashion. Well, for the more hardcore players and the players with lots of experience in the game, this will feel like a little bit of a dumbing down of the features for EVE Online, but as long as they keep all the important stuff in there. For me personally, I'm not in the settings menu that often, so perhaps for newer players and perhaps for the future of the game, that a simplification of the settings window might be a good idea. But I'm not exactly sure about this myself. The more options you have generally, the better it is. And this is a settings window. It's not something that you need to take care of while you're in combat or while you're in a difficult situation. This is when you've got 5 minutes and you want to tweak something for your client. That's when you get into the settings window, and so I don't think that the complexity there matters all that much. Still, it's on the roadmap for the winter of 2018-2019. Lots of updates, as I've said, and definitely some interesting stuff in there. I really like the idea of the 64-bit client. I wonder what that's going to do. For now, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.